What's going on, guys? Matt here, and today I want to talk about love. Now, love might just be the most complicated emotion in existence. I mean, when you feel it, when you really feel it, you just know. But at the same time, no one really knows how to exactly put words to love. No one really can describe it, how it feels, what it's like, etc. And for that reason, that it's also very easy to confuse other feelings for love. And this is especially true after a breakup, when your thoughts and feelings and emotions are just all over the place. It is so easy to think you're still in love with your ex when really you're just feeling something else. And this is something that I have dealt with more times than I like to admit. But in my experience, there's 5 telltale signs that you're not actually still in love with your ex, you only think you are. And that's what I want to talk about today. Now, the first sign that you're not actually still in love with your ex is if you want their current relationship to fail. Now, this might seem strange because if you're still in love with your ex, you might wish more than anything that you were still together. But at the same time, you wouldn't actively want their current relationship to go under. Because, in my opinion, if you truly, truly love someone, then you want them to be happy above all else. Even if that means that they're with someone who isn't you. But that's just my opinion. That wasn't bad. Now, the next sign that you're not actually still in love with your ex is if you want nothing more than for them to contact you, but you're unwilling to contact them. Now, we've all been there. We sleep right next to our phones, and then the very next morning, first thing, we pick them up and we look for texts, calls, whatever from them. And then when we see that little green dot that says they're on Facebook Messenger or GChat, we stare at it like we are Jay Gatsby staring at the green light at the end of Daisy Buchanan's dock. But if you're doing all of this, but you can't bring yourself to contact them, go after them, then I would say you don't really love them. You just want them to come back to you so you can feel better about yourself. You want that self-satisfying feeling that, they broke down, that their pride broke first, that they came crawling back to you. But here's the thing, guys. Love, it's not a power struggle. It's not a contest to see who can hold out the longest. It's whatever our reasons for never contacting them, they shouldn't matter, If you really love someone, then you put aside your pride, your fear, and you go after them, you go to them. Granted, there is a little bit of a caveat with this one. On the opposite end of that spectrum, if you are constantly calling them, texting them, never leaving them alone, then that is definitely not a sign of love. That is a sign of obsession. And if that's you, you need to get your ass to therapy. Now, the third sign of not love is if you want to win the breakup. Now, it's very common after a breakup to want to improve yourself in a lot of different ways, whether it's working out, going after that promotion, or even just getting a new haircut. We just want to show our ex that we're not sitting at home crying over them, we're doing well, and maybe even make them regret leaving. Now, this is often a very beneficial process for people to go through, and I'd even say that if your breakup is motivating you to be better, to improve yourself, then embrace that, use it. Because nothing lights a fire under your ass like trying to prove something to someone who's wronged you. And the thing about that is that fire will eventually burn out, but by the time it does, you're gonna like all these new improvements you've made, and you're just gonna wanna keep building upon them just for yourself, because you like this new version of yourself. But again, this isn't love. As I said before, love it shouldn't be a competition, you know? It's a team sport. And even though it's wonderful to find a significant other that makes you want to be better, they should make you want to be better as a team, not as, you know, a contest to see which one is better than the other. Now the fourth sign has to do with your dreams. Psychologists have long said that our dreams are our wish fulfillment. You know, in our dreams we see what we truly want. The problem is that what we see is often very open to interpretation. So if we're still dreaming about our ex, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're still in love with them. You know, it might just mean that we miss having a relationship. We miss having that special person in our lives. Now, how do you know the difference? Well, you have to really examine the dream, look at the details and the context. If you're dreaming, say, about a specific memory that you have with your ex, or you're dreaming about them in a way that their personality really shines through, then that actually might be a sign that you are in fact still in love with them. But if in your dream they're just kind of taking on a generic boyfriend and girlfriend role, like say when you dream about them, you're just doing things like going on dinner dates, watching the sunset, or making love, you know, things that you could really do with anybody, then you probably don't specifically want them back. You just kind of want to have those feelings for someone. You know, you want that connection and you just associate those feelings with your ex. Now the fifth sign is admittedly a pretty obvious one, but when you're going through a breakup, you're probably not thinking very clearly, so this can still throw you through a loop. And that's if a social media post from your ex gets a stronger reaction out of you than seeing them again in real life. Now when your ex posts something on social media, you're going to feel all sorts of emotions, and a lot of them will probably not be pleasant. But if that social media post makes you feel worse than actually, say, meeting them for coffee to catch up, then that is a pretty big sign that you're not actually in love with them, you're in love with the idea of them. And in today's world, that is very easy to do, especially when social media lets you see what's going on in your ex's life almost 24/7. The problem with that is if that's your only interaction with your ex, then you are going to see them through rose-colored glasses. And that's because we only share the most interesting parts of our lives on social media. We Instagram only the best events we attend, the best meals we have. We spend a good 20 minutes thinking of a way to word a tweet in a way that makes it sound funny but not actually trying to be funny. And we take the same selfie like 10 times trying to get the angle just right. But I promise you, everyone is exaggerating on social media. And this is a problem because on social media, we never see the little flaws and imperfections that make a person truly unique. And if you're spending hours stalking your ex's perfectly curated social media presence, then it's going to be really easy for your perceptions of them to become a little warped. So that's the 5 signs, guys. One thing I should have mentioned earlier was that this was not meant to be a criticism of anyone who's feeling these things. You know, all the things I've mentioned are perfectly normal and natural. I've gone through these things a few different times before, and I'll probably go through them again. All I was really trying to do was maybe help people find a little clarity to their feelings, which can be a huge step in moving on from a breakup. So, if you liked it, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.